Hello, mortals! I am the BookTube Goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. We are on episode 6 of the 3rd campaign of Critical Role. I am going to share my thoughts about the episode, and there will be spoilers. So, you've been warned. Here's another warning. You'll miss more of these Critical Role episode reviews if you don't subscribe to my channel, so please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And while you're there, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. First of all, we got to see the new intro, so let's go ahead and watch it together.
One by one we climb until we reach the top. 2 by 2 we fall. Will we meet our end or meet our destiny? Hold your breath and roll.
How do you want to do this?
It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's
I love that. I love that slow motion.
There is magic and mystery. Who knows what will happen? He might.
Hallelujah.
But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. From the healer to the renegade,
Robbie
we all
Damon.
share the same goal. Adding more allies,
I'll get
taking
there.
more chances. Hold your breath and roll.
You can certainly try.
It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery. From darkness, our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
Okay, that was awesome. Now, I pointed out there was Robbie Damon in the intro, but he wasn't in that final scene, so I still wish I knew whether or not he was a permanent Critical Role player. I hope he is, because I've gotten to like Dorian. Okay, this intro had music, it had special effects, it had gorgeous cinematography, it was super well produced, but just for fun, just to contrast where they are now with where they started, let's take a look at one of the earlier Critical Role intros. Okay, I found the first episode of Critical Role June of 2015. That is quite some time ago. What's that, 6 years ago? And let's see the first intro to Critical Role.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Mercer, voice actor and
He hasn't
master for Critical
changed.
Role on Geek and Sundry, where I take a bunch of other voice actors and run them through a fantastical fantasy
Look at the
adventure through the
background.
world of Dungeons and Dragons. We play every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Geek and Sundry's Twitch stream. Please come watch us live if you have the opportunity. Back episodes and future episodes will be uploaded on the Geek and Sundry website, so you can also check them out there. In the meantime, enjoy. Welcome to the first episode of Critical Role. And what this basically is a continuation of our weekly D&D game. Me and a bunch of other likely nerdy and enjoyable voice actors gathering around, rolling some dice, killing some creatures, having some adventure. And now we have the pleasure of bringing it on the stream for you to watch, enjoy, and occasionally interact with. So before we get to that,
He is
give you a little
so
backstory on
adorable.
the characters you'll be seeing this evening. We're going to play some videos for you in just a second. But do note, for all you hardcore gamers out there, a lot of this is house ruled, kind of loosey-goosey, having a good time. So all you number crunchers, stop paying attention there. Just have fun with it. But nevertheless, we have some background story on many of the characters you'll be seeing this evening to kind of help you jump into the story. Let's go ahead and enjoy those in just a minute, and then we'll introduce the players. So have fun.
Right, listen up. If you have a
That's Travis's
you
voice.
have a friend in Grog Strongjaw, a Goliath of towering height and size. This barbarian has an appetite for the 2 great loves in his life: combat, women, and ale.
Okay, apparently the artwork has been blurred out, so let's not watch the whole thing, but you get an idea of where they came from and where they are now, this high, slick production. It is just such an amazing success story, and I'm just so happy for all the Critical Role players. So let's just jump right into this latest episode because we got some big news. Travis Willingham's character is finally revealed! And I was shocked. We got to meet him at the end of the episode, and I've been completely wrong in imagining that he is Oshad Brescio, aka the Anger. I thought that because it was hinted that Matt would introduce Travis's new character later in the series, and Bertrand Bell was a placeholder or filler character. Therefore, I thought Travis's character was going to be part of the storyline. But of course, I'm completely wrong. Travis's new character is Chetney Pocopi, a old little gnome carpenter. I was completely taken by surprise. I also take back what I've said way back when, that I was disappointed that Bertrand Bell was used as a placeholder because it felt a bit like ageism, getting rid of the much older character. But Chetney is an old gnome. And I just love how Travis portrays that little old man or little old gnome as cantankerous, blustering, adorable. I predict Chetney will become an absolute fan favorite.
Yeah, you see post up against the wall, cloak and hood pulled over his head. You see tufts of silvery gray hair shooting out over his ears. Some silvery gray hair shooting out of his ears. And a nice little knit beanie cap pulled tight with little ear straps. He's got a leather chest harness and some pretty muscly, sinewed arms, along with some looks to be woodworking tools from his hips and waist. And some nicely pointy-toed boots.
What's his lineage?
He's a gnome. He's a gnome.
Roughly what age is he, from a visual perspective?
Oh, probably somewhere around 100, 120, 100-something years old.
What kind of height are we talking about?
I'm short, motherfucker.
Shorter than me? I'm 3'3". Where you at?
I think I got you by an inch or so. Oh. I'm looking down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're taller
Taller?
than him.
Oh.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Okay.
You're not sure?
I might be on my tippy toes. Gotta put out a different vibe for these strangers.
That's where it lifts. Like just shoes with a quarter
I'm up
on
against the wall, so the heels, I just
Dutch
lift them up
claws.
and then rest them against the back. So my calves don't cramp.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Are you one of the contractors? I see you have woodworking tools.
You know, I am. I like working with wood very much. No, I saw around the corner all of you handle whatever that was.
You decided to just stand there and not come help?
Well, fuck yes! That thing had tendrils, and all of a sudden you were there, and you whack got pulled in, and you got spit back out, and then he's fucking face down in the middle of the street.
Fair.
Do you do this regularly? Are you looking for work? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. Do you know a patron?
No, actually, I could use some help.
Oh, you need something.
Well, yes. I need help finding someone.
What's your name, friend?
My name's Chetney.
I'm sorry, say that again. It sounded like you said
Chetney.
Chetney.
Chetney Pocopi is my name.
Well,
Great name.
Thank you.
a little unusual.
Who are you looking for?
A friend. I'm sort of new to Marquette, but I'm sort of all on my own now. It would be very, very helpful if you could help me locate him.
But this leads me to the obvious question. Why? Why wait to bring him on for so long if he wasn't part of one of the threads of the story? It doesn't make any sense to me, especially since he's not that different from Bertrand Bell insofar as he's sort of a type of comedy release. But of course, we've just been introduced to Chetney, so it remains to be seen if his backstory will somehow reinforce one of the main storylines. But at first blush, it doesn't seem that way. Thus, to me, just to me, it makes me feel that the reason to hold him back from joining the party was a little bit random. Let me know what you think in the comments. But just to reiterate, I am a fan of Chetney. I love Travis's roleplay of this character and am really looking forward to seeing more of him. I'm really curious if there actually is a reason in the plot or story for Chetney to have been held back from joining the group for so long, but we'll just have to wait. Now that to me was the highlight of this episode, but also the smallest part of the episode. So let's recap what happened in terms of story or plot development. We left last episode in the Dreamscape Theater, where our heroes were investigating the disappearance of members of that theater. And the investigation took up about the first half of this episode. And I'll have to be honest with you, I got a little bit bored during the investigation. So, what happened? During the performance, one of the acrobatic performers got hurt doing his act, and afterwards the party went backstage and fresh cut grass healed that performer. And then they were able to convince the theater owner that they were there to find out what happened to the missing persons. And the owner seemed to be relieved to have help and pretty much hired them to do the investigation. Now, after questioning some of the staff and finding a clue, they concluded that people were having a romantic rendezvous outside and then disappearing. So they investigated an alleyway that appeared to be very, very clean, where the people seemed to have been disappearing. And Imogen felt an alien mind in the alley, even though it appeared empty. Surprise, it wasn't empty. The back wall of the alley was actually a creature that looked like part of the wall, which our heroes had to fight and defeat. After they killed the creature, they then found evidence that it had been eating people who had wandered into the alley, and they also found evidence that unknown individuals posing as a construction crew may have been the ones who have placed the creature there. Afterwards, they saw a little gnome watching them who turned out to be Travis's new character, Chetney. Like I said, I got a little bit bored during the first half of the episode where the party investigated the disappearances, but I wasn't completely bored, and this is why. We talk about the critical role players being voice actors, very successful voice actors, but ultimately that means that they can act. And I have to give it up to Matt Mercer for jumping into totally different characters so effortlessly, and they are totally engaging. So the two highlight characters to me were Stuvan, the pompous, slightly slimy owner of the theater.
If you wouldn't mind closing the door for me, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, you're asking about disappearances. Where did you hear about this? Really? Just a few deep-pocketed strangers come and see one of our matinee performances and decide out of the goodness in their heart that they're going to look into some disappearances that apparently have been rumored by everyone.
Isn't it?
Wouldn't
Pretty
you?
much.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you be more suspicious if penniless, desperate people appeared at your door wanting to know about this stuff?
So smart.
I love it with you. If you are indeed here to help, it's not like you're going to do any more than the Wilders, wardens have not done, than to just pressure me with questions. Yes, we've had some disappearances. Don't know why. And I'm a bit frustrated that anyone I've spoken with has turned up with no answers, and a lot of eyes seem to be on me. My nerves began to fray a bit and began to do my own internal investigations. But it's very hard to maintain focus while also trying to run a business. And it's about this time that word got to the Wardens, and they began to poke around, to no avail other than, well, beginning to make very presumptuous statements in and at my presence. And then 3 days ago, a young woman who was one of our rotating bartenders here at the theater, named Lidney Osadala, she vanished. And she's the most recent. So we're now looking at a total of 6 people who have disappeared in the period of 3 weeks. And I'm growing anxious and worried. So if you're looking to help, what do you have?
The other standout, which blew me away, was Tefta, one of the theater managers, and Matt was somehow channeling Blanche from Streetcar Named Desire, or actually Blanche from the Golden Girls.
How can I help y'all?
Evening.
Oh, hello. Handsome little boy. Come here. I'm Tefta. Well, we're very lucky to have a bunch of handsome helpers coming through here to discover what mysteries might unfold. One does not have to be, and I mean this without offense, but...
She keeps looking at you. What is her...
Oh, I can see a performer when they walk before me, honey. But you don't have to be pushing for talent to be talented. And that does not mean you have to push yourself upon other people with your persona to be effective. I'm a shrewd businesswoman. I look past the lies of others, and I know how to get contracts situated and set. I make this place money, and I keep it afloat.
So is it okay if we give like a thorough look around, really put this to bed?
Anything you want, honey. Anything.
Where would you go in here if you wanted to, engage in a little hanky-panky with someone? Where would you
You mean
go?
where have I gone?
Yes, but you can't say the basement. Because that's a given.
Oh, honey, how do I narrow it down? I've left my mark up and down this theater.
Okay, as much as we may want the story to progress, we have to remember this is a D&D campaign of very low-level characters. At this point, the main D&D goal is to raise the characters' levels so that they can then handle larger events. And to me, this episode highlights that goal. Give the character something small or small-ish in order to gain experience. Now, the creature in the alley is what I believe is a roper, which is a staple D&D monster from way back in my day. Now, you would think, or at least I thought, that 6 4th-level characters shouldn't have a problem with one roper, and it's kind of hard to imagine that the combat with a roper would be that exciting, but combat took up the last half of the episode, and I'll mention before how exciting it is to watch these guys in combat, especially for those who have played D&D before, and we weren't disappointed here. I don't know how he does it, but once again, Matt Mercer made this somewhat ordinary combat scenario into this epic smackdown.
Okay. As you all kind of move forward, Imogen, you kind of step, and with your mind still open, the static gets a little louder as you begin to step deeper in the alley. And kind of flex your eyes for a second and glance up as you see Ashton and Imogen both kind of inspecting the far back wall. And as they're inspecting it, you see the striations of the stone on the wall back split, where an eye appears in the space. Another section opens up slightly where you can see jagged points within and tendrils. And that's where we're gonna go to break. Well, The pseudopod whips out and slams into you like a hammer, and you're like, bah! But you're adhered to it.
Oh shit.
It missed you with the pseudopod. It's gonna try and bite you.
You just get hit with the
That is gonna be a 24 to hit.
throw fun time back.
Yeah, that hits. Yeah. You take
Close enough to be
14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Fuck off.
14 points.
Plus 11 points of acid damage.
Whoa! What is happening?
As the mouth
Don't murder the
chomps
mouth.
into you, and you feel your shoulder and almost your neck
That's 25
get
points of
completely
damage.
consumed. You try and pull yourself out, and as you pull your arm out, you feel the teeth breaking away, and you watch as the teeth shatter, and then more form behind it from where it was. And as you pull away, you're like, that kind of hurt. And then the saliva from the creature is now burning
Kinda
into
hurt
your
my ass.
flesh.
That really hurt. So
So now I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Oh my god.
Now, how much would this creature, this monster, this roper play in any of the main storylines? Remains to be seen. We did see, like I said before, that there were clues that it was placed there by unknown people for probably nefarious reasons. So, who knows? And I can't wait to see more of Chetney, who apparently is looking for someone, so there's more backstory or subplot development there. Until we meet again, may all the books you read and the campaigns you play in be blessed.